me feel like. It make you go and get some money. Get some money. Ooh, yeah.
Not my beautiful Beyonce 5.
I tell you this right now, y'all talking about free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way.
Jaguar Wright is back with another claim, and this time it involves the most iconic couple on the planet, Beyonce and Jay-Z. And according to Jaguar, Beyonce isn't just drunk in love. She's also drugged up in it, and it's Jay-Z who's keeping her hooked on substance to control her. Allegedly, of course.
Sometimes it's overwhelming. Why God give me my talent, my gift, my family? But I know you're not supposed to question God. So I'm grateful for the life He's given me. I'm so grateful. So I'm alive and I'm living a dream.
If you don't know who Jaguar Wright is, you'll definitely know her by the end of this video. And for those who do, well, you already know that her tea tends to come correct sometimes, so maybe this is one of those times? We can't say for sure, but Jaguar is standing on business real hard with her reveal that Jay-Z is drugging Beyonce to control her. And what's the evidence she has? Well, let's just jump right into it.
Drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in the character.
No, girl. Not my beautiful Beyonce.
Jaguar Wright strikes again. If you still think Bey and Jay are couple goals, Jaguar Wright has news for you. Jaguar Wright has been calling out the secret lives of hip-hop icons and Hollywood's hotshots for years, and this time, she's informing the world that Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship is not at all what it seems.
Everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1.
In one of her recent tell-all interviews, Jaguar Wright mentioned how people were talking about Free Britney, aka the campaign that was started to get Britney Spears out of her conservatorship. According to Jaguar, what people should also be talking about is Free Beyonce. And that was enough to set the conspiracy theory ball rolling. For those who don't know, despite how much control it seems like Bey has over how the media presents her and her family, there have been multiple cracks in their perfect picture over the years. And if Jaguar is coming out to say that Jay-Z might be the reason that Bey acts super robotic, and he's allegedly controlling her with drugs to keep her by his side. The craziest part is that there may be some facts to support her claims. Now, we know that the idea of anyone controlling Queen Bee might sound impossible at first, but a super important thing to remember is that before she became Queen Bee, Beyonce was once a young girl trying to get a big break in the music industry. And whether it was directly or not, Jay-Z played a huge part in her success story. And who does this remind us of you? Well, Diddy is the main subject of Jaguar Wright's biggest and most scandalous reveals, and Jaguar has said that the only reason Jay-Z doesn't speak out against or distance himself from Diddy is because they are both birds of the same feather. And when you think about Diddy's involvement in the career of all his past romantic patterns, you'll start connecting the dots, or at least just a little bit. After all, Diddy was the major player in Cassie's rise to fame, and if there's anything her recent but short-lived lawsuit showed, it was the amount of control and power that Diddy had over her. And that's almost exactly what Jaguar Wright is describing about Jay-Z and B's relationship. But before we go further into the disturbing similarities between Jay-Z and Diddy, let's take a look at some of the other red flags in Beyonce's relationship and life with Jay-Z.
Welcome back to the Grammys, everybody. You know, when you equal a record, there's no way you don't get to hold your Grammy in your hand and celebrate that.
A big sacrifice for fame. Long before Jay and B were hip-hop's king and queen, Jay-Z had been making tabloid headlines for hanging out with rising musician and actress Aaliyah, who was 9 years younger than him. And that wasn't even the first time he was rolling with a much, much younger woman. Now, if you're wondering what any of this has to do with Beyonce, sit tight, because it's a roller coaster.
Were you nervous? very nervous, but I'm real happy. It's something I've wanted for a long time, so to finally make that transition, it's great.
So, remember how Jay-Z and Aaliyah were rumored to be a thing? Jay-Z and Aaliyah had been linked in the late 1990s because Aaliyah had been introduced to Jay-Z for professional collaboration purposes, and they were supposedly good friends despite their age difference. Let's not forget that Jay-Z and Beyonce were also claiming to be friends for a very long time before news hit that not only were they dating, but they were engaged. So this definitely shows that Jay could have been involved with Aaliyah more than either of them let on, which ties back to some drama involving Damon Dash and, wait for it, R. Kelly. Yeah, and we all know that if R. Kelly is involved, there's some messy business going on. As one Twitter user noticed, I think it's weird with all the R. Kelly stuff happening that no one brings up how Jay-Z and Kelly literally were in a love triangle with Aaliyah, a child, and when Jay couldn't get with her, he started dating a freshly adult Beyonce. Started talking when she was 18, dating at 19. Anyway, the more chaotic part of this comes from the fact that Jay-Z was on the cusp of a very influential career, and so were Beyonce and Aaliyah, who were on two different paths.
Listen, if you want to become wealthy, you probably do not want to own and or invest in Bitcoin, meme stocks, or any other potentially risky
but still similar. And legend has it that after Aaliyah decided against pursuing a romantic relationship with Jay, he focused fully on making Beyonce his queen, and not just for music. So, while many people were eager for Aaliyah to be the next queen of R&B, her career and life were cut off right at the peak when she died in a tragic plane crash on her way back from a music video shoot in the Bahamas. And Beyonce's career shot straight for the skies. Surprise, surprise, it was around the same time that Jay-Z reportedly started hanging out with Beyonce. And Jaguar Wright also alluded to this, claiming that Beyonce's solo career was struggling before Aaliyah's died. Like one Twitter user said, they sacrificed Aaliyah, queen of R&B in the Caribbean for Beyonce, but we know Carrie Hilson sounds better than her, hence they canceled her for their queen. Of course, these are simply theories and conspiracies, but for someone as young as Beyonce, who got the opportunity to grab the spotlight with both hands, it's easy to see how she could have been manipulated into thinking she owed everything to Jay-Z. After all, it's not so hard to see a man who is 12 years older than you as a savior, mentor, whatever else. But as a life partner, that's where things get even weirder. The age gap. If there's any information that keeps making the rounds whenever the topic of Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship is up for discussion, it's their wide age difference. Beyonce was born on the 4th of December 1981, which means she's currently 42 years old. But her husband, who was born in 1969, is well over a decade older than her. While their 12-year age gap is not such a big deal for most relationships, the fact that they met when Beyonce was barely 18 years old and Jay-Z was a 30-year-old man puts a large red stamp on their relationship. When you're 42 and 54, the age difference may not seem significant because you're both adults with a world of experience. But for an 18-year-old to be in a relationship with a rapper in his 30s, that's very weird. And it gets even weirder. Jay-Z and Beyonce reportedly first met in 2000 while heading to the MTV Spring Break Festival, and although they didn't become public with their relationship till 2004, it almost sounds like they purposely kept it under wraps because of the wide age gap. And Jay-Z is actually the one who confirmed that they may have been messing around earlier than fans think. Jay-Z recounts their first meeting in his 2018 song, Everything Is Love, as he raps, "We played it cool at the pool of the Cancun, VMA. Confidence you exude, make the fools stay away. Me, I played my room, let the fools have they say. Fate had me sitting next to you on the plane, and I knew straight away. Maybe it's just us, but that definitely sounds like he already started, or at least had the intentions of pursuing a relationship with B right from the moment they sat next to each other on that plane heading to the 2000 MTV Spring Break Festival. This age gap at the start of their relationship has actually been a concern to a lot of fans and a general topic for online debate over the years, with some wondering if Jay-Z crossed certain lines while pursuing B when she was still a teenager. And although they may have matured into their relationship, there are still a lot of red flags in the way their relationship is. That elevator incident. 6 years after they got married and 2 years after the birth of their daughter, Blue Ivy, the Carters got caught up in one of the most scandalizing events the internet has ever seen. A few days after Jay-Z, Beyonce, and her sister Solange all attended the 2014 Met Gala, TMZ released exclusive footage of what is now infamously known as the elevator incident, and it nearly broke the internet. The grainy black and white video shows Jay-Z, Beyonce, Solange, and Jay-Z's bodyguard in the elevator, and a few seconds in, Solange launches at the rap icon, allegedly spitting at him and attempting to land a few punches and kicks, some of which actually hit him. But while the outburst definitely shook the internet, it was Beyonce's calm exterior that really upped the ante and had everyone analyzing the video from 1,001 perspectives. The rumors were vicious and the conspiracy theories were endless, but one thing was in common. Jay-Z had definitely done something wrong. People just weren't sure what exactly it was that he had done to trigger Solange's reaction, because Beyonce herself had often commented on how protective her sister was, despite being younger than her. While the elevator incident itself was shocking, to say the least, a bizarre thing that surprised fans even more was the fact that just 2 days before the video was released, B and J had been at the Barclays Center, watching the Brooklyn Nets home game and looking every bit like the perfect couple. And that's definitely a pattern that we can't ignore about their relationship. No matter how messy the home situation is, not one hair would be out of place for their public appearance. To be honest, we're not sure if that's commendable or worrying, but the elevator incident definitely had some effect on their calm front, and the Carters, with Solange, released a joint press statement addressing the incident. In their words, as a result of the public release of the elevator security footage from Monday, May 5th, there has been a great deal of speculation about what triggered the unfortunate incident. But the most important thing is that our family has worked through it. Jay and Solange each assume their share of responsibility for what has occurred. They both acknowledge their role in this private matter that has played out in the public. They both have apologized to each other, and we have moved forward as a united family. But the internet wasn't ready to move forward, and later that month, there were fresh speculations that the couple was breaking up, and Beyonce had gotten the iconic 4 tattoo on her ring finger covered up. As usual, Beyonce and Jay-Z put a stop to the rumor mills when they appeared at the 2015 Met Gala together, and late enough to draw everyone's attention. Not that they ever needed to, but rumors and theories are never too far from this couple, and the following year, in 2016, the elevator incident was picked up again. This time, fans were inspired by the tracks on Beyonce's iconic Lemonade album, Lemonade and Becky with the Good Hair. For a couple that is notoriously private about their personal lives, Beyonce and Jay-Z are very open to sharing details about their relationship through their music. And Lemonade was a full view into how close they came to breaking up. On the album, Beyonce delivers subtle details of Jay-Z's wrongdoings, the betrayal and anger she felt, and ultimately, the forgiveness. But before fans caught up to the forgiveness aspect, they were quick to open up the 2014 elevator case file and look at it again. Cheerleading this investigation were the lyrics from the hit track Sorry off the Lemonade album. Rachel Roy, a fashion designer and the ex-wife of Rockefeller Records co-founder Damon Dash, had been a prime suspect for allegedly causing the elevator incident after ceaselessly flirting with Jay at the 2014 Met Gala after party. So it was no surprise that fans and the media looked in her direction as the potential Becky with the good hair Beyonce sang about on Sorry. But regardless of the conspiracy theories, Beyonce and Jay-Z were moving forward with their relationship, as Beyonce already insinuated that she forgave him on the album. After Jay-Z provided his perspective and a ton of apologies on his 444 album and acknowledged his faults, they decided to weather the storm together. As he told the New York Times in 2017, "You know, most people walk away, and divorce rate is 50% or something because most people can't see themselves. The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then have to deal with yourself." And they were were dealing with it in their own way. Whenever the rumor mills tried to pick up a new aspect of her life to analyze to the tiniest bits, Beyonce would upload a few family photos on her website and the dust would settle. And that's the biggest clue of a fact to Jaguar Wright's claims. Jay-Z's control. Before Jaguar Wright came out to speak on the bizarre relationship between Jay-Z and Beyonce, a man claiming to be one of Jay-Z and Beyonce's former bodyguards actually accused Jay-Z of keeping Beyonce drugged. The man, who goes by the name Uncle Ron, posted a since-deleted video claiming that the rapper was obsessed with controlling the former Destiny's Child star, and he also alleged that their marriage was solely a business transaction.
So remember, your relationship was a business relationship, financial, to get to the top, to become billionaires. There's no love there.
Uncle Ron boldly claimed before saying,
"See, hardly nobody knows, but I'll say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way. Y'all wish it what you wish it, to stay on top. But there's one thing about me, bro. I can't be bought." This is Uncle Ron.
While Uncle Ron didn't offer much proof to back up his claims, besides mere words, he isn't the only person who made claims and called out any potential threat. Jaguar Wright also revealed in an interview shortly after Ron's video went viral that Jay-Z is a monster who keeps Beyonce drugged to control her.
Because he's a monster. I waited a long time to see if he would grow a conscience. And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a character.
And that level of control sounds just like what Diddy was allegedly doing to Cassie. For those who don't know, Cassie dropped a seething lawsuit against Diddy a few weeks ago, and the details are chilling, and not in a good way. Cassie's case. In November 2023, Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against Diddy, and in the court documents, Cassie cited physical violence, trafficking, and emotional abuse. And the internet went up in flames as more details were revealed. After enduring years of silence and darkness, I am finally prepared to share my narrative and advocate not only for myself, but also for the countless women grappling with violence and abuse in their relationships, Cassie expressed in a release statement. With the imminent expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act, the realization dawned upon me that this was a crucial opportunity to shed light on the trauma I endured. A trauma that will be a part of my recovery for the rest of my life. Cassie then went on to describe some of the most harrowing experiences anyone could ever have, especially at the hands of their partner, and it was truly shocking. But what was even more surprising was the fact that the lawsuit was settled in less than 24 hours. Now, Jaguar Wright had previously spoken about the relationship between Cassie and Diddy, and she confirmed that Cassie was heavily under Diddy's control back then. Cassie's statement in her lawsuit clearly stated that the alleged abuse started when she entered a professional and intimate relationship with Diddy at the age of 19, while he was 37. And that 18-year age gap in itself is problematic enough, as it clearly indicates that the young singer was supposedly groomed. And Cassie explained further how, after signing her to Bad Boy Records, Diddy led her into a lavish, high-paced, drug-fueled lifestyle. Now, who does all this remind us of? It doesn't take a genius to figure out the jarring similarities between Cassie and Beyonce's relationships, but it seems the only difference, which may have been the reason Beyonce stayed, was the physical violence that Diddy allegedly inflicted on Cassie. But the same plot of a super young wannabe star and an already established and much older man is too much of a similarity to ignore. So maybe Beyonce doesn't look like a drug addict or have some of the distressing videos that Cassie does, but it seems there are enough crumbs in the story to lead to the big pot. And even the Beehive members online are saying this theory sounds believable.